And I'm so pleased to have the honor to introduce two amazing high school students tonight who are going to share some of their testimony with you. So I'm really proud of them and so excited to hear what they have to say. And it's been so awesome to watch their journey and see their growth over the past few years. So tonight we're going to hear from Ashley Diaz and we're going to hear from Shane Anderson. And so we will start with Shane.
Hello? Okay, this is kind of weird. You guys having a good time? Alright, well, my whole life I was kind of the type of kid that I always believed that there was a God, but I was never the type of person to really acknowledge his existence. I never went to church, I never went to youth group, I never really prayed or read the Bible. And so, about the beginning of my sophomore year, I had a couple people tell me about this group called Young Life. And I blew it off for a while, but eventually they buzzed me into it, so I went in. And I was kind of expecting a little group where everyone just sings like Kumbaya and reads the Bible, and I don't know. Didn't know what to think of it. So the first time I go there, I met Anthony and then a couple other leaders, and it was almost kind of a little scary how nice they were. It was how welcoming everyone was. It was kind of amazing. I just never felt that kind of atmosphere in a building. And so that night we danced, we sang, and at the very end we went into I heard my first really verse out of the Bible in years, and Anthony read us a story, and it was really the first time in a while that I heard about him, and it just hit me. So I went back the next week, and then the next week, and then the next week, and as I kept going back, I kept hearing more and more about this guy named Jesus, and I really just had almost an epiphany. He's done so many amazing things for us. I thought, wow, why can't I do something for him? So as I just started my journey through Young Life, and at the end of Young Life, of last year, I heard about this camp called Woodleaf. So, of course, I go to Woodleaf, and little did I know, it was the best week of my life. By far, it was... It's basically how I was kind of speechless. So, it was really the type of place where I've never really had a chance to grow that close to my relationship with God, and that was the place to do it. And without Young Life, that never would have happened. So Woodleaf and Young Life basically pushed me forward, and without them, I never would be here right now. That's kind of it. Actually, wait, just hold on. Some more. Well, I would just like to thank everybody here, because it's kind of I never really had anyone or a type of group to really push me to even get to know them a little bit. And without everyone here, all of you guys, all of them, all of our leaders, I really never would have been here. And I'd also like to thank, she's not here right now, but I'd like to thank Destiny Diaz, because without her, I'd never be at this place, and I never even would have heard about Young Life. And that's pretty much it.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ashley Diaz, and I'm a junior at Camarillo High. I'm here to share my testimony with you and how Jesus has taken me from being hurt, angry, and hidden to forgiving, hopeful, and fulfilled. It took me a long time to put my trust into the Lord, but it was the best thing I've ever done. Growing up, I considered myself a Christian, but I didn't understand what it meant. I thought that because I went to church and because I knew about this guy named God, that was all there was to it. Once in a while, I would pray things like, God, can you do this for me? Or, if you're real, you'll do this. Only to be let down when nothing ever happened. I had nightmares a lot as a child, and I would imagine myself in his hands, and it brought me peace, and I was confused. As a child, it was a tradition for me to go with my grandma every Sunday to church. But after a long time of not feeling like I should be there and feeling out of place and tired of not understanding, I just stopped. I went through some rough things and I held on to that pain for a long time. I was angry, and unless I was with my friends having fun, I didn't want to be around anyone. I isolated myself from my family. And although I wanted to have a good relationship with them, I couldn't let go of that hurt that I was feeling. I couldn't explain it, and I didn't want to. I constantly thought about this godly figure and asked if he was real, if he really did love me, then why was he letting these things happen? And why did I feel so alone? Then freshman year came, and about halfway through, I was invited to Young Life. I had no idea what it was, but all I knew was my friends were there, and that's all I needed. Not knowing much about Christ, I loved hearing about him every Monday while I was hanging out with my friends, just a little bit every week. Quickly after I started going, I met Hannah Johnson. I don't know if you've ever met someone that can walk into a room and fill it with happiness, but that's what she does. She always said hi to me, no matter what, and her smile is, and still was back then, bigger than my head. I was inspired by her because I could see this thing coming out of her, which was God's love, and I wanted to be like that. I wanted to love him like she did. My first experience at Woodleaf was unforgettable. I was finally given that proof that I've been searching for forever, and I let him into my heart. For me, like, the initial feeling when I got home was excitement, and I desired to carry on that relationship, but slowly it faded more and more, and I got so wrapped up in the material things and hanging out with my friends and my boyfriend, I didn't give any of my time to him. I continued to go to Young Life because I had fun and my friends were there, and I still wanted that relationship. He didn't give up on me. He kept trying. He sent me friends like Hannah, who I could trust and I felt comfortable talking to. Like a lot of teenagers, I told myself, I'll fix my relationship and strengthen it later on when I'm not covered in all these sins and when I'm a better person. I thought that I had to wait for a better point in my life until I finished that or this or all the excuses I was making. But despite those, I wanted that connection. And finally, Woodleaf came again. This time, it was different. I didn't know, I still wasn't good at praying, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just continued to just pray. Every night I would say, God, just please, like, I'm putting all my trust in you, just show me that you're here, show me that you can bring me to you again. And I decided that I finally needed to tell someone what was wrong and what was hurting me so badly. I was brought to Johnny May, which is the head speaker at camp, and he's known for his wisdom. I finally let everything out. We cried and we talked, and he helped relay that God's message that it was time to let go. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, but it was time to forgive. After that, I experienced freedom. I didn't need to change my views or for him to accept me, but I realized that the closer I get with God, the more my desires change. And it's so amazing, the things that he's done for me. I prayed I could lead others to him, and he's bringing me the strength to do that. My relationship with Christ has only become stronger and stronger. I feel comforted and accepted with him in my life. And no matter what struggles I face, I know he's there for me, to support me. And help me through it. My views have gone from dreading church to waiting around all week for it to come around, for Sunday to come, because being in a group of people that love God and worship him is the best part of my week. My relationship with my family has changed, and he's helped me to be able to talk about my feelings and face my problems instead of ignoring them and locking myself in my room. This doesn't mean the road's not bumpy, but I don't have that anger inside of me anymore. If you put your trust in the Lord, he will guide you. Sometimes this means losing people or giving up things you never thought you could, but he will bring you the strength to do it. I get excited when I think about my walk with the Lord and how not only the rest of my life here on earth, but for eternity, he's walking alongside me.